Welcome, everyone, to episode 134. No, 135. To say, oh my God,
he already did it.
Over.
Starting
over. See, Chuck, you can't ruin this show unless I do.
I already did it.
Welcome to episode 135 of the Destiny Digest podcast. My name's Danfinity, and I will be your host. I'll be your host for the night.
He's just getting them all out the way
Chuck,
for you right now.
You know what, Chuck? I'm handing the reins off to you. Why don't you tell the people everything?
Man.
Everything. Yeah. Welcome to Destiny Digest. I'm one of your hosts for today. My name is also Dan for today. We have three Dans.
Mm-hmm. My three Dans.
Yeah. And I'm super happy to be here.
Right, perfect. In the co-host chair, we have EpicDan22. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Hello. And then we have Chuck. Dude,
Hi.
Welcome in. Nice to have you in the guest seat. And finally here. Tell people where they can find you on the internet first and foremost before we get anything started here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it. I've been a fan of this podcast for a long time, so it's surreal kind of to be here. My name is TeamChuckles in game, and my Twitch is on twitch.tv/TeamChuckles, and that's kind of where everything is centered. And we just do a lot of raids over there. So come on by. We do a lot of LFG stuff and find fun people to play with. And sometimes lots of fun. We just ignore those guys.
That's the best thing to do. Before we get into our conversation for the night, we'll do a little bit of housekeeping here. You can join us live every Sunday night around 3:30 p.m. Pacific and 6:30 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Destiny Digest. You can ask questions live in the chat, and that helps us form this conversation. Episodes go live the next day on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Pocket Casts, or just wherever you get podcasts. Oh my God, words. Or wherever you get podcasts. You can help others find the show by rating and reviewing on your podcast platform of choice. Speaking of, I don't know if you guys saw this. Epic Dan, you probably saw this. But we're 113 followers away.
Close that saw.
Yeah. From getting partnered, the first level of monetization on YouTube.
That's right.
Which is pretty sick. So if you haven't followed there yet, please do. It'll help us out, and it'll help you out, because then you'll get to see all three of the panelists' faces today on another video. How about that? How about them apples? You want to see our faces? Go over to YouTube. All right. So Chuck, if I can call you Chuck.
That's great.
Cool. What got you started in Destiny, and what got you started in Destiny? Let's start there.
Sure. Yeah. I started playing on launch, and at that time I kind of wasn't a big fan. It didn't hit with me at that time.
Cool.
I don't know where I was mentally over there, but Lightfall, I came back because some of my friends wanted to do the raid.
Fun.
And we started playing since Lightfall. After playing for like a few weeks, the friends that wanted to come and play the raid didn't want to play much anymore, so I just stuck with it because I really liked the game.
Right.
And I was looking for more people to play with. Started streaming the game to try and find some other content creators that might want to like kind of team up and do some stuff. And I was lucky and found a lot of people that wanted to do it. So now I'm just fully locked in, playing Destiny all day.
That's incredible, man. Are you a full-time creator? Do you have a job or?
No. Part-time creator, just play in my free time. And we have a lot of fun with it. Do a lot of raid helps. And sometimes we just do raids for fun. We do sabotage raids just for fun every once in a while, things like that. And just playing in LFG. LFG is kind of where I started because, again, I was trying to find people to play with. So I didn't have a lot of people to play with when I first started. So I was just hopping into LFG, joining some groups, seeing what people were doing in LFG to figure out kind of how I wanted to play the game. Met some people in LFG, would kind of join clans here and there. I don't know, the rest is, I guess, history. We just kind of met up with some other content creators, and it kind of exploded from there. And I have a lot of wonderful people that I get to play with now. So that's our story. And I will say, our Root of Nightmares run, which was when I just came back to the game, we got
Yeah.
to Explicator on the contest run in like
Ooh,
6 hours.
nice.
So I'm just gonna say, I mean, I know it's Root of Nightmares, but like we were brand new, so I feel pretty proud about that.
Dad, you're floating. That's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic, man. What's your favorite raid in Destiny?
Oh man, that's so hard. My favorite raid, if all things are even, it's gonna be Deepstone Crypt. I think it's a really fun
Okay.
raid. Because it's kind of easy and it doesn't have a master mode right now, I would say Epic Desert Perpetual is my favorite because it's the most challenging. Even with the bugs, if you kind of work past that. But yeah, that's the Deepstone Crypt when it's all even. Epic Desert Perpetual right now.
Okay, sick. Yeah, I still have to hop in there and do anything in Epic.
Oh, let's get it done. Let's get it.
Gotta get in there, man.
Haven't
Do
had
it.
time, man. Freaking jobs and stuff. That's no fun. That's no fun. Other games, those are fun. Well, excellent, man. What's your class of choice?
I've been mainlining Titan pretty much the entire time, but I kind of just recently, when they announced that Pantheon is not going to have not swap, I kind of swapped to Hunter. I've been
Yeah.
I've been hardlining Hunter now lately until maybe until Pantheon, see what the balance changes are. I kind of swap around. I do a little bit of all of it.
Yeah, you're ambidextrous. That's great.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to.
All three hands.
Snow DSVDV said in chat, they look like brothers, not gonna lie. And you just posted a TikTok about that this past week.
Yeah.
Along those
I've
same
been getting that
lines.
in my chat a lot actually since people
Yeah.
come in and say, "Oh, it's Dan."
Yeah.
Wrong
You're
stream.
gonna get that. You're gonna get that occasionally. But yeah. Well, excellent, man. Let's talk about some of the games that we've been playing this week. Have you primarily been playing Destiny 2 all week, or like any other games kind of slipped into your rotation lately, Chuckles?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've been pretty much playing only Destiny. I have like a
Mhm.
couple of things in my backlog right now that I want to play. Like I have had Esoteric Ebb sitting there in my backlog for a long time, which is like
Mhm.
the Disco Elysium like that I've
Yeah.
been waiting to play. And I want to try that new Marvel Rivals PvE mode that I heard just dropped.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I really want to try that. It seems pretty cool. It's like a kind of horde shooter type thing. It's like vampires, things like that. But I just been super lucky that my team that I've been playing with, they have a lot of Destiny stuff they want to do, so they keep messaging me, "Hey, we have this stuff we could do." Oh, okay, yeah, I'll
Still
do
gotta
that
knock this
instead.
out.
So yeah, so I haven't played anything really but Destiny lately. But yeah, I have a couple things in my backlog. So hopefully, this time next week I'll be like jumping into a couple of things, try some other things, and I always gravitate back to Destiny though.
Yeah.
I love Destiny, man.
Outside of Destiny, what are some of your favorite games?
I love like old school JRPGs, like I played
Mhm.
Clair Obscur. That was like the newest one that I've played, which I know it's not really like a JRPG, but it's like that style. And yeah, that really hit home. That reminded me of those JRPG feelings. So those ones. I came from Final Fantasy 14. That was like my first like big MMO game that I was
Okay.
playing. And then I swapped from that to Destiny. So yeah, those kind of things. I might actually hop back into Final Fantasy 14 pretty soon with the Kefka raid. So yeah, there's that's
they're
my
doing
jam.
a Kefka raid. Oh man.
Oh yeah, you have to
I
see it.
love
They Kefka
man.
and the Warring Triads. That's new Ultimate.
my
They just
goat.
announced it. Oh, it's so good. It looks so good. It's called Dancing Mad too. It's so yeah, I might hop back in for that.
Cool. Rad, man. Excellent. Epic Dan, sir, in the intervening 2 weeks that we haven't had a show, you've been really putting in hours into a lot of games. I believe I mentioned earlier
Yeah.
off stream, I saw you in Mouse PI for Hire. I also saw you in Pragmata this week. What are your thoughts on those, bud?
Capcom has been on a burner this
Yeah.
year, and it's pretty insane. I know this coming up week we're playing through finally Requiem Resident Evil. Heard a lot of good stuff about that, but
Mhm.
yeah, Pragmata came out. Didn't know what to expect with it, and for a new IP, I was pleasantly surprised how good it was. I was telling my chat then, like in a world where most of the games coming out are somewhat good, successful, all those kind of things generally are spin-offs or sequels or just something that we already know. Last year that was Clear Obscure for like something brand new. This year so far, Pragmata is that one for me right now. It's like it's taking a lot of traditional gaming elements from other type of genres and merging them together. Like I don't think I've ever played a game that I can think of that has action shooting while also having to like mix a little puzzle into combat with like the whole hacking thing. I didn't know. I remember playing the beta right when it got announced right after the Game Awards, and I was like, okay, it seems kind of cool. Not too sure if I'm gonna like it, but I still wanted to give it a shot when it launched. And once you really, maybe really once you get into it, within like the first hour or two, you start understanding how the gameplay loop and the combat loop is going to be. And then once you see all of the weapons that you have, once you get all of the hacking, what are called like matrices, where you can do when you do certain things in the hacking system, it triggers different elements. Like one of them was when you bypass a hack, it would increase your damage, increase your stun duration, a lot of stuff like that. It was just a really fun game. And what's also really interesting about it is you could 100% the game in less than 20 hours.
Okay.
Which is, I think for me, it took like 18 and a half hours to 100% it, which is doing all of the collecting, doing the story, just doing everything. You can do it you can do it all in a weekend.
That's cool.
And a lot of times to like get the full breadth of a game, you got to log 100 hours into it. So it's very nice to have something that didn't feel like it required a lot of my time to play.
Right.
I don't think, and I've gone back and forth on this, whether or not it's going to be up there at the end of the year for like game of the year type of stuff.
Right.
I don't think it's gotten that amount of like backing as far as like community like telling people to play it. Right. But I wouldn't be surprised if we come around December and it's like it's got a pretty decent amount of like nominations tied behind it. Really, really recommended it. Mouse PI for Hire is I would highly recommend it. It's also not it isn't $79.99. It's only $59.99. No.
Oh, hey.
Oh, actually, that's surprising
as well. Yeah, so like for a brand new IP and it not being like a full $80 game, it's still really good. And I do hope that they make another one. Not to spoil it, there's a way they can make a sequel to it.
Yeah.
If you go through if you do the full secret ending, they leave the door open. So if they want to, if the success is there and they want to make another one, they definitely can. But I would highly recommend playing it just for like, if you want to take a weekend to play a new game, it's highly recommended. And then, like I was going to say, Mouse PI for Hire, which I know some people either liked or disliked. I know there was some discourse around it. I also thought was really cool. Not for the same reason I liked Pragmata, but Mouse PI for Hire is what I didn't know, which I didn't know the term boomer shooter.
Yeah.
Until it came out and people were talking about, and I was like, what the heck is a boomer shooter? And I also aged myself because I've been playing games all my life, and I had never heard that term. I just felt like this just looks like one of those games that you would have played back in the day, and it definitely is that with like the Doom vibes and the Duke Nukem vibes.
Yeah,
it's really really cool.
Down sights.
None of that. It has
Isn't there like a detective aspect to it? You guys are both playing it, right? I mean,
there's the story is a detective story where basically you're trying to figure out. It's not really a spoiler. Like you basically start off the game trying to figure out a murder mystery about like a magician.
Yeah.
And that opens up a whole onion of like a lot of other stuff happening in the world.
Yeah. It reminded me a little bit of like in Alan Wake 2 when you had the
I'll
board,
wait too. Yeah.
and you're like, anytime you get a piece, you're just putting it up on the cork board, and it's slowly starting to like. I only have like a couple. I'm not as deep in as EpicDan. Like you've finished it, right, EpicDan?
I finished it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got like 4 hours in it, maybe. And like I think that puts me at like 6% or 12% of the game done, or something like that, something along those lines.
You
And
could
so-
finish the game in about 10 hours.
Yeah, it's not going to be that long of a game, but yeah, it is definitely a boomer shooter. I'm surprised you didn't know what those were before.
The thing is, once people told me and I looked it up, I was like, oh, I never knew it had a term.
Yeah,
But I was like, oh yeah, I've been playing these kind of games for 30 years.
forever. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
never knew it was like the term that people were like, yeah, it's a boomer shooter. I was like, I don't know that term.
If you like Mouse PI for Hire and you also like Warhammer, Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun is incredible. It is also a boomer shooter. It has more of a pixel. It is more like Doom, like original Doom, than Mouse PI for Hire is. Mouse PI for Hire just has beautiful animation throughout it, but Bolt Gun
really
has the same situation going with it, where it's like you're going through corridors until you get into these huge holes, or these huge rooms that are just like enemies just keep pouring in. And that one's actually, I think that one would probably be more up your alley than Mouse, like at least when it comes to the combat, because it's dope. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it surprised me that Mouse PI for Hire was a boomer shooter as well. It makes sense, like with a maybe limited time budget.
Works.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It works for that. I'm digging the black and white for most of it. I know I know they're working on a color mode here soon.
It's
Yeah.
so I will spoil. There is a portion of the game, one spoil. It doesn't have nothing to do. Well, out of context, it doesn't. There's one part of the game that's in color. There's a reason, but in that part of the game, you have to go back and forth between black and white and color, and it is very jarring. It's very jarring.
Well, yeah.
I personally, and even my chat, we were like, I don't really like this because you spend all this time in the black and white universe. There's a reason why this part of the universe is color, but the fact that they put you in this room out of nowhere, and then you have to fight a whole bunch of enemies, and then you also have to do a couple of mechanics that requires you to go back into the black and white arena.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden you're back into the color. I can see people liking it.
Yeah.
It's very I feel like either you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. And I was like, I'm not really sure how this is working with my brain.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of, what's that movie? Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
That's what one thing reminded me of.
Great.
That gun. The gun that is basically the dip.
Yes.
That's incredible. Have you seen this, Chuck?
I have not seen that.
Okay. All right. So there's this gun. You get it fairly early on too. I want to say it's
really
like the
early.
third level or something like that. And you're just basically, I forget what it's called, but you're taking paint thinner and jamming it into a gun and then firing it on enemies.
Dravenas, I think, or something like that.
And it does damage over time to them. And then they turn completely white and then turn into bones on the ground. It's incredible.
Oh my!
It's really neat. Yeah.
Is the melee in that game a kick? I think
it is a kick. Yes,
it's a kick.
Awesome.
There's a couple of melees. One, you can swap your guns to just like old time knuckles. Like, shoot them up.
Yeah,
you can either do that. There's also a level up. Well, it's technically, but you basically also can turn your fist into Popeye. You grab a spinach.
And you grab the spinach.
And his fists get really big, and you just like punch infinitely for like 30 seconds. So there is some melee.
Yeah, there is some melee. The kick. So like I played Angerfoot a couple years ago, and like seeing the foot come back up on the screen, I was like, my baby's back. They're turning kicks into melees now in video games, and I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. Angerfoot, also a really good game if you haven't played it. Kind of fits in that boomer shooter category. Yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out. But yeah, going back to Pragmata, I've only heard good things about Pragmata.
Yeah, me too.
I played the demo, and I kind of bounced off of it. But there was something about it. My brain was not connecting with the Helldivers 2 code of it all when trying to shoot at the same time.
I can kind of see that. I wouldn't really I would have, well, maybe I played Helldivers with mouse and keyboard, but I played this game with controller. Maybe that's why. Just because normally I play shooters with mouse and keyboard, but whenever when I boot it and the game says, we recommend play with a controller, this is the best experience. So, okay, I'll play the way you think I should play it, even though I would prefer to play with mouse and keyboard. And it's funny, I played mouse and keyboard with Pragmata's demo. And maybe it's just because I feel like I should go back and play the demo again. I remember not really enjoying the hacking and the combat on mouse and keyboard. But I also remember feeling that it was a bit too easy. Now, granted, the demo was just the first mission, like the very first opening mission. So that's probably why. But once you get into Pragmata's mid game, not even end game, but mid game, and you start having to deal with 10 by 10 grids.
Oh yeah, no. Oh my god, dude.
You would think it would get overwhelming.
Yeah.
But the game also does such an intelligent job of understanding that you are going to feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That they give you so many tools to combat that. For example, there is a tool that obviously slows down time when you hack, that increases the time when you hack, that makes you immune to damage when you hack, things like that.
Yeah, okay.
There's a bunch of stuff that makes the hacking easier. There's also a couple skills that Diana, the little robot girl, gets that allows her to just do the hacking for you.
Yeah.
Now, she won't do it as efficiently. So like sometimes if you have a bunch of additional skills on the 10 by 10, sometimes 12 by 12 grid, where you have to obviously get to from top left down to like say bottom right. But there's a bunch of extra nodes that will amplify your damage, amplify your stun, do all these other effects. She might just skip them, but she'll get there really quickly. So it sometimes isn't beneficial for you to let her hack. You want to manually hack sometimes just to get the maximum benefits.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple of ones that I ran that like you could overheat a target. The more hacking nodes you went through or you bypassed. If you hack a certain amount of nodes, you could auto heal. You could auto reload your weapons. A lot of stuff like that. So there's a lot of benefits to doing it yourself. But if you're fighting a boss, for example, there's a really big boss that they put in the trailer where you're fighting a boss in Moon version of New York City, it's so beautiful.
I've heard that's a really crazy visual. It's like Times Square, right?
It's literally Times Square.
Yeah.
But all the bosses are their arenas are so memorable. Even if you don't enjoy the combat, you can always turn the difficulty down and make it a lot easier. But there's also a lot of tools that makes it easier. And they do it in a way that you actually want to hack.
Right.
Because you get that skill where you're micromanaging almost both sides of your brain. I got to shoot, I dodge, I also got to hack.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to yap too much about it because I could. But I've yapped enough about it. It's a really good game, very unique game, and I hope that people play it. It feels it's not on the same level of Expedition 33, but I do feel the same way, or at least same ballpark as what I felt when I played Claire last year. We all know how much I yapped about Claire before everyone picked it up that first weekend. But it's a new IP. And it's doing something fresh and new in that genre. And I got to give it credit to that. It's really good.
Can I ask, what is the difference with Pragmata that makes it not a boomer shooter versus like mouse PI? Like what is that defining characteristic?
Of a boomer shooter? So like a boomer shooter is technically it's basically like a Doom is essentially what it's supposed to be, where like your weapon is locked off on one side of the screen. You have like and everything else is going on the other side of it. You do have like the ability to sprint forward and things along those lines, and you can you're picking up everything that you are you're picking up shields, you're picking up ammo and all sorts of stuff like that.
Mhm.
Whereas with like Pragmata, and all of that's in like in a first person category, right? You also like with the weapon, since it's locked off, you're not able to aim down sights.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. So like the reticle is kind of in the middle of the screen, and that's if an enemy is there and you're firing, you want to kind of keep it kind of in the middle of the screen. Whereas with Pragmata, that is
You also got to do like the dodging, the Duke. Not the Duke. Well, the Duke as well, but Doom dodging, where you got to like shift all of a sudden to like not take damage. That's also very prominent.
And like, open arena mobbing enemies, just like a lot of things coming at you all the time. With Pragmata, that one's more like it's a third person shooter. It has heavy puzzle mechanics on top of it. It's more like Banjo-Kazooie, really. And
there's a couple games I would recommend that if you've played these games, you might like. If you want to kind of understand how you're going to play Pragmata. Obviously, there's a lot of similarities to Dead Space 1 and 2 specifically, because of it being third person, over the shoulder type of situation. Some people say, well, I would say as well, because it's in the universe, Resident Evil is another game that's very similar as far as like the way you move. You can't really sprint. You can sprint, but it's not really fast. You have to micromanage a stamina or a thrust is what the game calls it, where you're in a spacesuit because you're on the moon, obviously.
Right.
But you have the ability to sprint, but that sprint only lasts like say 2 seconds. You can upgrade the sprint, but also the sprint or the stamina meter is used whenever you sprint, whenever you jump, whenever you dodge, or what the game calls thrust. So you have to micromanage all that. I can't think of a game that has added the hacking mechanic at the same time.
Right.
Which is what I found really interesting. Some other games have it to where you have to shoot an enemy. You have to, maybe do a puzzle mechanic separately, but never at the same time, where it's also it isn't forced that you have to hack, but it's definitely
there's a benefit. There's a huge benefit if you do.
Yeah. All of the enemies you fight take like 90% less damage if you don't hack. Once you hack them, all of their weak points are exposed.
Yes.
And then they all take like max damage until they close back up, which is what I was saying earlier. Like the nodes will sometimes extend how long they're like exposed. There's also a weapon called a riot blaster that will just straight up knock them on the ground. And then they'll stay there for like 10 seconds, which allows you also to have ample time to like, either heal or get away or reload, a lot of that stuff. Because also the reloads are very slow. You also have a short amount of ammo for a lot of the weapons. You can upgrade them, but the stronger the weapon, the less ammo you have to compensate. So a lot of times you are struggling with, let me save this weapon. Like, let me save my shotgun or my sniper for when I get the big stun. They also have the traditional, I don't want to say RPG, but they have a system where you can do a certain amount of damage to a bar, and then they just get automatically stunned. And then if you have once you get deep in the game, when they are stunned, you can do a finisher, which is kind of cool because he pulls out his like pistol and then does like, he just shoots them, and you'll see like a big like 4,000, 8,000 damage to them.
Oh my god.
Which is also really cool. But there's also build crafting. So if you only want to really care about your guns, there's a lot of stuff you can build into just your weapon. If all you want to do is just hack infinitely, you don't want to shoot your guns at all unless you have to, you can build entirely into your hacking
Mhm.
to where your hacking is just constantly just, doing so much damage. And
Yeah.
every time you hack, you get increase in damage, all this kind of stuff. So you have some build crafting there as well, depending on what you prefer. But the hacking is definitely worth it. But depending on you as a player, you can decide on whether or not you want to do half and half. You want to be balanced. You want to be all weapons and a little hack, or all hack and a little weapons.
Mhm.
So the best way I can explain it is I don't really see Mouse PI for Hire being remotely in the same genre or style.
Yeah.
Besides them
Yeah.
both being you shoot a weapon at a player at a enemy.
Just more variety than just shooting, I guess, would be like a big key component.
Yeah. There's probably
Mhm.
more discoverability in Pragmata too, just because you do have like some secret rooms that you can get into with Mouse PI for Hire, which like the unlock mechanic is incredible.
That
if
pick,
you have
the pick
you're
locking
pick
or
locking,
whatever.
yeah,
So
you're pick locking
cool.
with your tail. So
Mhm.
like it's just animating on that plane, and sometimes there's nails built into that, and if you hit one of those, then
Oh,
it
man.
it's so unique and so clever with how they animate everything in that game. But yeah, I just looked it up here, like some games that were like it, that were like Pragmata, like Dead Space came up, Vanquish came up, Returnal came up,
Vanquish, Returnal. Yeah.
um,
Well,
Control. Well, Returnal a little bit less because
I would say
that one's-
Control is more. Yeah.
yeah, Returnal a little bit less because that one's more like a bullet hell game.
Yeah.
Which have you ever played Returnal or a bullet hell or anything like that, Chuck?
I played Control. I have not
Okay.
played Returnal.
Okay, Returnal's rad. Returnal
Control is a little bit more closer to Pragmata.
Yeah.
Okay. I
It's-
love
it's-
Control, so
Dude, I
I
love
gotta
Control
add
too.
Pragmata to my list now too. Oh god.
Yeah, man.
This list
Yeah,
is getting deep.
yeah. Let's get that backlog going. Yeah,
Just take a
I'm-
weekend. That's the good thing about that game. Like both that
Yeah.
and Mouse
Yeah.
is. I think the problem for a lot of people that like play one game a whole lot is you
Mhm.
don't want to dedicate a week and a half to like some of these games, which is
Yeah.
totally understandable.
Mhm.
If you're really focused on Destiny, it's a lot for me to like not play Destiny and then play whatever game that's going to take me 80, 90 hours to really
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Whereas both these games, you could really start Friday and be 100% done Sunday evening. And that's
Yeah,
with
that's
just
a great point.
taking, maybe do 4 hours every day, you're done. 6 hours every day, you're done, depending on
Mhm.
how much you want to experience it. Because the only thing, well, I won't spoil Mouse. I'll at least say for Pragmata, once you beat the game, it unlocks a in-game area where you can fight harder bosses, and you can do a whole bunch of platforming puzzle things. It's called the Unknown Signal. But even doing that, the time it takes to do that is based off of how much you did throughout the game. So the more you did in your first playthrough, the more things are already unlocked when you get to the Unknown Signal.
That's cool.
So if you get to the Unknown Signal and you so happen to have done everything in the playthrough, everything's unlocked, and you can do all of them. The Unknown Signal, I think, took me about 45 minutes to an hour. But even if you don't have it all unlocked, it's very easy to backtrack and find whatever. It's basically collecting all the stuff in each of the biomes. And that unlocks a different door to go do a secret challenge, which is literally just fighting stronger bosses, the bosses you fought in the game. Which is also really cool because once you get to the end of the game, you probably have done enough to earn in-game builds or in-game loadouts or having the best gear. Then you can take it back into the boss. And then you already know how to fight the bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, they do have new skills and new moves, but you already know the boss because you already played it. He's just a bigger, stronger version.
Yeah.
But you're also bigger and stronger, and you have more knowledge, so you can still steamroll the bosses. It's so satisfying.
Hell yeah,
I
dude.
love that. It sounds awesome.
But even then, you're still gonna be able to knock it all out in a weekend.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Yeah.
one reason why I would recommend both of these games, because if you just for some reason, before Shadow and Order, you got a weekend to knock out to kill, Just pick one up and knock him out. And just
Yeah, dude.
I think unfortunately we're gonna have plenty of weekends.
We're gonna have plenty of weekends.
Yeah.
Not too many more left, but we'll see.
Hopefully.
So, like Dan, I was playing Mouse PI for Hire. I really like that game a lot. There's a gun in there. It's a Tommy gun, but they call it the James gun, and I really like the reference. That's hilarious. One of the only things about Mouse PI for Hire that I didn't really click with is like sometimes I would be in a room and I'd be like, okay, where do I need to go now? And like there was not really like a big flashy thing to say, hey, you need to come over here. And I kept forgetting there's this like little sweeper that if you hit down on the D-pad, it's this little sweeper that tells you where you need to go or like points you in the direction of where you need to go. And it's hilarious.
I hate it.
You hate it?
You end up hating it later.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Like
because the thing it does tell you where to go.
Yeah.
But a lot of times what ends up happening later on is there'll be a locked door or a locked wall and the broom just goes through it.
Oh yeah, no, I've had that happen already.
And you're like, no, don't tell me.
Yeah,
I know I need to get there, but I'm missing something elsewhere to unlock that door.
I had that happen to me already, and then there was like I was going around. There's the third level is like in this old mansion, and so you're creeping around this old mansion, and there's one place where it was like, where the hell do I go next? Like, what's the whole vibe? What's the gist of what I need to do? And I kept hitting that thing, and it was pinging behind a wall I couldn't get to. And then like after about 16 minutes of just running around in circles, I realized that there was a barrel, an explosive barrel right next to a wall, and the wall had an X on it. And I was like, see, if this were in color, this would be in yellow. and I'd know that I could go through there.
You know what? Like, that is a fair assessment of like having it in color. I get
Yeah. Like that was one of the things where I was like, I walked past that same barrel like 12 times. Like just I was like, where should I go? Where should I go?
I think that's an issue with like newer games.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to say the sweeper is the final boss, and then it like leads you all the way there, and then you get to the last room, and then you have to fight the sweeper.
You're just adding bristles. I think the last boss that I beat was the alligator boss.
That's a fun one.
That one's a fun one, especially when you figure out like the rotation of it, and it's a good time.
Rotation.
So if you don't do a lot of damage, he sends out these like little seeker alligators to come get you.
He does?
He does, yeah. And like they'll come out of the sewers and everything. So if you're just running around and not really paying attention to what you're supposed to be doing, it's a whole pain in the ass. But there's all sorts of explosive barrels. Like I found out, I realized that there were explosive barrels everywhere in the second run through of it, and I was like, oh, if I get him near one of those and just hit the explosive barrel, it'll explode on him. And then once I hit that, he'd never sent out any of those tiny little alligators, like the seeker alligators again. It was constantly like, oh, he just bait him over by a barrel, shoot the barrel, and he burns out. Like,
I guess I cheated then. Because did he chase you?
Yeah.
So in my playthrough, he never chased me. So the way I fought him was when I go in the room. Obviously, there's like the 3 walls on each side.
Yeah. There's different rooms in the encounter. It probably looks like from the top down. It probably looks like a 4-sided dice. Chuck, just to let you know, the layout of the arena. But
so I walked into the room and I obviously I shot him for a little bit. And he killed me. And I was okay, so I can't just straight up face tank this.
Yeah.
So then I walked inside and I went over to the right. And I shot him like standing by the wall, but he still visually could see me.
Yeah.
What I noticed was if he visually can see you, then he goes through an animation if he just sits there and just fires for about 6 seconds. Then he has to stop and reload.
Right.
So what I ended up doing was
You cheesed him?
I would trigger that animation, and then I would go around the wall and shoot him. And I would just lay into him until he finished the animation. He would turn around, shoot me again, and then I would just walk back to the other side, and then I would just shoot him. Then just I did that like 8 times, and he died.
Yep. That's goofy, dude. That's goofy.
I didn't try to do it. That's just what I did. It just made the most sense. So like, oh, he's doing this animation, and all I have to do is just trigger him to do it.
Yeah.
And he just becomes static for like 6 to 10 seconds.
That's ridiculous.
So I just used that time to just like get behind him, and I would just shotgun him.
Yeah.
Or I would shoot him with the paint thinner.
Yeah.
And then I would just go back around. And I did pick up some of the bomb or the little barrel things in the corner, the barrels, and I would just throw them at him.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of damage to him. But I even after I beat him, I was like, huh. I feel like there's something else he should have done.
Yeah.
But he never did it because I stayed looking at him until he shot me. And he got animation locked.
Yeah, like if you're just running around and you're not using the barrels at all, like he just sends out these seekers for you, and it becomes a whole mess of a problem. But like
I never saw that.
Yeah.
Anything. He just sat there and shot in the middle of the arena.
Yeah.
For 2 minutes.
The barrels do like a 1/6 of his health. So after the first one went off, I was like, oh, I should be doing this. Like I'm an idiot. Why did I do that? I played a game this week on Thursday called Kiln from Double Fine Studios. Kiln. That game is fun as hell. Yeah, you watched it, Chuck.
It looks great. It looks awesome.
You throw pots, and you can make little cups, or you can make huge vases, like all sorts of stuff. And based on how much clay you used, and what type of pot or piece of ceramic you make, depends on what skills and attributes you get. So you either get more health, but less ability to carry water, which is like very important in this game, or you get the ability to carry more water, but you have very little health. And it's crazy. It's a 4v4 PvP game where you're trying to quench the other person's kiln, the other team's kiln, by just dousing it in water. And I made a little cup that looked a lot like the cup that I purchased in Nuremberg, Germany, on my trip, and that thing was incredible. Incredible. I was juking fools left and right. Like I've never been into a PvP game the way that I am into Kiln. It was intoxicating. I was trash talking people the entire time when I was doing well. It's just a crazy game. It's really, really solid. Double Fine always makes like really, really inspired games, but this was
so good. I love
this
them.
was creme de la creme. I felt really good about it.
Also, as a spectator too, I was watching Dan. Like he got his face was intense, dude. Like he was really.
I was locked
on Kiln.
I was locked in. It was because I was like, dude, I gotta juke these guys because they're gonna come at me with like balls and chains. I gotta get in there. I gotta dump all my water and then I gotta get out. Like it was very intense. Under $20 right now. So if you get a chance, pick it up. The one thing that I will say about it that I'm not a huge fan of, Bona and I tried to get in together on Thursday night with their crossplay, and it would not work. It would not work at all.
Crossplay broken or something? Or?
It's broken. Anytime that I would try to invite somebody, it would only go from like my PlayStation's list of players, and it doesn't. There's no like tag system like you have in Destiny or Marathon, where it's like username and then here's these 4 numbers to identify that person. None of that. It is just like, at least on launch day, it was just your friends list. And we wasted probably like 30 minutes trying to figure out what we could do. We tried reloading the game and everything like that. I hope that that's something that gets fixed in the future. But it was incredibly frustrating on Thursday. Even though I had a really good time with that game. So dumb. So dumb.
Yeah. They
You
need
get to-
crossplay in a game like that. Any kind of party game like that. You got to get crossplay going. Come on,
Well,
guys.
it's their
2026.
first time. It's their first time doing a game like this. So like I'll give
Is
them the
it?
benefit of the
I guess
doubt.
it is.
Yeah. They like all their other games are like, I mean, Psychonauts. You had Keeper last year. Like those are like one player games. They were I don't think they were anticipating.
Yeah. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
So I don't know. It's very good. Very good. And also very cool to see a game come full circle from Psychodyssey. Like you
Yeah.
saw the like nugget of it in Psychodyssey being created and then all the way around to actually playing the game was very cool. Other than that, I'm looking forward to Saros this week. Saros comes out on Thursday.
Sir.
That looks fun as hell.
Can't wait.
It's from Studio Housemarque. It's a Sony game. It's a PlayStation exclusive. It just looks like a lot of fun. And early reviews have it like being as like Returnal Light.
Yeah.
Which seems like it's going to be a lot of fun too. But yeah, other than that, we've talked almost an hour about games that are not Destiny. For a Destiny podcast, Destiny Marathon podcast, we should probably talk about one of the two of them. Have you guys played Marathon or Destiny this week?
I mean, I've done a
First
lot of
week I
Destiny.
haven't.
First week you haven't, EpicDan?
Haven't played Marathon now.
Gotcha.
I mean, technically I logged on yesterday. Yeah, I logged on yesterday because I finally got the purple shield barter.
Yeah.
So I had to burn all my enzyme replicators to just make my entire vault just purple shields.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's been a good time for me to take a break.
Yeah.
Since everyone is, well, not everyone, but since there's become a massive increase in teaming.
Okay.
Where pretty much a lot of people are just running in with like, I don't know how they are doing it, but like a lot of people are just teaming up and just destroying lobbies when they shouldn't. Obviously,
Okay.
there's going to be times when like you meet somebody else in a game and they decide not to kill you or you don't decide to kill them. But a lot of people are somehow getting into games together. And instead of it being a team of 3, there's a team of 6 or a team of 9.
Yeah.
They're just steamrolling who's ever else is in the game. That has apparently been what's been causing the biggest issues in Cryo the last just 2 weekends.
Okay.
I haven't played Cryo in the last 2 weekends, but the issues have been, if you aren't one of those teams that are going in and teaming, you are having a very difficult chance of exfilling or just doing any progress because you're not matching another team of 3, you're matching a team of 6,
Right.
or maybe even a team of 9, and it's already, Cryo obviously is the end game, so it's already tough.
Yeah.
Then having to fight 6 to 9 players when you're just a team of 3 is just detrimental.
Mm-hmm.
So I am glad that I haven't been playing a lot of Marathon right now. I just wish that the players that are still playing right now didn't have to deal with that, because it's
Right.
I don't know how you fix that. There's also been a influx. I don't want to say an influx, but there are some there's been like some streamers that are doing it too. So like they will go in, they'll say, "Oh, there's another streamer. Oh, let's just team up real quick." And then, that's also people they already hate streamers already.
Yeah.
So of course
They're gonna hate them even more.
They're gonna hate them even more right now. And it's for a game that really needs to find its footing to survive long term. It's
Right.
little things like that hopefully Bungie can figure out how to balance.
Mm-hmm.
Because this game isn't meant for 6s. It's not meant for a team of 3 to have to fight a team of 6 or 9.
Right.
So it's just tough.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. Yeah. Chuckles, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. My thoughts are all over the place on Marathon right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people are bouncing off of it, which is really sad. I mean, I want Marathon to do really well. But yeah, people are shamelessly like inside the Marathon Discord, people are teaming together. Like there's people in those channels, those voice channels, like 6 and 9 stacking together, like just jumping in and they're also stream sniping, which I don't know how you deal with that either. So
I don't know how you deal with that either. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just targeting streamers and intentionally trying to just ruin their game, I guess. And
Yeah.
it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Hope they figured out because the core game is really, really good. Marathon's shooting, like the whole shooting aspect of the game, the guns, the combat's really, really fun.
Yeah. Like I played a little bit of it on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. That's what I'll say. Tuesday. With Lauren Punky. And I had a lot of fun with it still. It is one of those things where it's like like it's not wearing on me. I'm not burnt out on it. I'm just like there's other games being brought out, and so I'm gonna be spending time with those. But like it was a fun time. There were a couple of things where like we did have like a second team come in on us when we thought we were only playing one. I can't tell if they were colluding. Well, yeah, we got third party, but like it felt different than in previous entries where I don't know. I like that thing where you feel like you're running up on one team, but you're actually running up on two.
Yeah.
I feel like the recon changes have felt good. Like I like the recon changes. The spider still needs a little bit of oomph there. But that was I had fun with that. I know Waster got.
Have you enjoyed? And I was gonna ask you about the Waster. I haven't played since the Waster nerf.
Mm-hmm.
I last played right before they nerfed the Waster, and I've heard mixed reviews or mixed feelings.
I didn't play with a Waster, but I also
you never played with a Waster.
Well, I didn't play it with a Waster this week.
Okay.
So like I think I have one in my vault, but I don't think I brought it out the entire time. And yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I got by one. It was a lot of long range battles, if I remember correctly. There was very little CQC from this past week of playing, if I remember correctly. But there's a VOD somewhere, and somebody's gonna watch it and then be like, "No, Dan, you actually got killed by a Waster here." And so, like, that'll be a thing. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really notice the Waster bit all that much.
The Waster is like a 3-tap now, right? They pretty consistently. Like it's very difficult to 2-tap with that now.
Yeah,
it's dependent on your shield now. So if you have a blue shield or lower, it will still do its job. But once you have anything higher than if you have a purple, green or gold, it's what was Fallout plays did some testing, and it takes 3 to still get the benefits. So if you have stack overflow, it's still the same. But if you have the gold mod, which is what even I had a question about the gold mod, because the gold mod was, in my opinion, the bigger issue. Because that thing was able to down a player from 140 meters away if it was a headshot, which is insane for a shotgun to do. Chaperone wishes it could do that. Yeah, it wishes. But that you can still use that mod, and it's still 2 shots purple shields, but it has to be one of those shots have to be a headshot.
Gotcha.
So it won't do it I think it doesn't do it with a body shot, but if one of those 2 shots is a headshot, it'll still down a player in 2.
Okay.
So the problem with that a lot of people have, which if you don't have like a whole bunch of purple shields, like if you're someone that's like comfortable going into marathon with blues or greens, then you're still going to get knocked with a Waster every single time. But if you come across a team that has purples, your shotgun is now you're going to have stack overflow in order for it to be beneficial close quarters, which unfortunately I have a lot of that mod, but it's like the rich get richer. I'm not really ever going into a raid without a purple shield. I'm not really ever going into a raid without like purple mods on my weapons now. So if I'm matching someone who doesn't have 350 hours like I do in the game, or doesn't have a whole lot of the best gear or even mid-tier gear, then they're already at a disadvantage simply because they don't have this mod or like this perk. But there is some even like playing fields now, because if someone does have it if they have the mod, they can still do what they were used to doing.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've watched, it has not. All the fights were just double barrel shotguns most of the time. And I think based on what Dan said so far as well, it seems that that's not the case. More people are using other weapons. I know, what's that weapon? The Ares and the Circuit Breaker,
Mm-hmm.
which are two weapons I was like just selling infinitely before, have become really strong in its place, which is interesting. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what we've seen so many nerfs back to back now because they're trying to balance the game to figure out what they want the meta, the state of the game to be. I'm really interested to see how Marathon is going to end as far as like when the new wipe happens, what we're just going to be used to seeing.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
It would be interesting to see if they come full circle around on Marathon the same way that they do Destiny 2, where it's like, well,
I do feel that. Yeah.
Every season's going to be a new sandbox to play in. Like shotguns are strong now, but they're going to be knocked down a little bit later. Also, the way that you said Fallout, like that poor man, he's played 2 games now, and all he's done is shotgun testing.
Just shotgun testing.
That's all he's done. That's all he's been able to do.
I feel like they gotta change the sandbox every. It's gotta be like drastic changes every reset, right? It's because if it's gonna be the same, you're chasing the same weapons again. People don't want to chase the same weapons again. They're gonna want to chase like the new hot weapon, whatever the new hot weapon's gonna be at that time. So, they gotta like turn the sandbox on its head every reset. I think that would keep it mostly fresh for me at least.
I feel like I don't think they need to make all the changes. They need to figure out the only way for like a lot of the weapon metas to really shift is for new maps. And there's no way for them to make enough maps to do that
to satisfy everybody.
To satisfy that, if that makes sense. Because we have 4 maps now, and the reason people use certain weapons on certain maps is because that just works. If you're on Dire Marsh, it's going to be more long range. So people are going to bring in a sniper, a pulse, a scout more often than outposts. They're going to bring, or even Cryo. I was going to bring something close quarters. I just want them to figure out a way to make it to where there isn't outliers for those maps. Because, like, if Perimeter, Cryo, Dire, and Outpost, you think of those 4 maps, even when they bring in Night Dire Marsh, you think of those maps, you already know what weapons you want to bring. That would cause just as many issues as them never changing the sandbox.
Yeah.
So if they can figure out ways for me to like want to bring different weapons for these maps without like just making every 6 months be okay, now it's time for this weapon. Now it's time for this weapon. Kind of like what we got used to in Destiny. Then I think that would be beneficial for the long-term health of the player base. But even then, if they did that, it might not work out. So it's like, I don't know.
There's something else to be said, like with different maps and adding different enemy types in. Like
enemy types would help.
And enemy types also help you decide what to bring into certain situations. So like if they increase the maybe the eliteness of the enemy types during like the nighttime maps, like that could change like those levels. That could change what you bring in. Like there are several variables that they could tune.
This is why I said they need to have the enemy variant.
Yeah.
Kind of stay on that. Like, I would really like that.
Yeah, man. Something else. I played the new experimental mode. Where everybody
sponsored.
Yeah, everybody loads in with the sponsored kit. We played a lot of that on Tuesday. It was pretty fun. Like it depends on what the sponsored kit is that day. But like we had a pretty all right time with it. Yeah, I don't know. Like you're not risking as much, but to me it also felt like you're not getting as much good loot.
Yeah.
out of that as well.
I'm not a big fan of it, but I understand. It seems that a lot of people are liking it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you said, it doesn't feel like what Marathon is going for.
Yeah.
But I totally get them. I get that they are trying to experiment and try stuff. So willing to hear them out.
I think it's really a great way to get newer people into the game too, because I think extraction shooters, people have loot anxiety with extraction shooters, especially newer people when they don't really understand that the loot is meant to be used. It gives them a chance to just jump in and play. Yeah, and lost. You need to lose it. That's part of it. You have to go in and win some, you lose some, and having that mode will help get newer people just kind of over that loot anxiety, I feel like, and just kind of understand that the game is more about the shooting and the combat and the exploration of each map. Each round is a different exploration for you. Hopefully that does that job and gets a lot of newer people into it.
Or less skilled players. Like that particular to me was what like it felt like it was aimed for. It wasn't aimed necessarily at like newer folks. It was like primarily for folks who maybe don't have a lot of experience in a shooter or like in this shooter specifically.
Yeah.
So
I think of it as like you go there when you're on a losing streak. That's what I kind of chalk it up to.
Yeah.
Like
rebuild your vault.
If somebody's on a losing streak, they don't want to get off the game,
or just to warm up
into sponsor, or that too.
Yeah,
it just feels like I just can't shake the feeling that the sponsored playlist is just a battle royale. Just because of the way it is.
Yeah,
which is why I'm like,
that's a good point.
I don't know how they change it to not make it feel that way. Maybe make everything the value of everything that would. Value what you start with maybe a little bit better, but like taking out all the gear fear just almost turns it into a battle royale.
Yeah. No, that's
100%
what it is.
The probable chance of getting something worthwhile to leave with.
Right. Yeah.
Have either of you guys done solo crew fills since they introduced that mode? I'm wondering if we're seeing less free kits coming into solo crews or fills at all. Because I think that was a point of contention for a lot of people. They're coming in with a lot of loot and they're getting paired up with free kits, so they don't feel like they're on the same playing level because they have all this stuff to lose and these guys don't. Has that changed at all? Have you guys played?
I think as long as there's crew fill, most people will always take in a free kit in crew fill because of not knowing what the other players are going to go in.
Yeah.
I have heard people, which we don't have. Marathon, not us. We don't have the player numbers to warrant splitting up players. Where if you press launch into a crew fill with a free kit, it will search for only people with that. And if you launch with like say a value of 1,000 or above, it'll put you in with people who at least have a certain value kit. I feel like that could work, but we don't have the player numbers to do that. Matchmaking already takes 4 or 5 minutes per game, so they couldn't do that. But it is always going to be an issue, just because you don't know what the other people are taking. So you almost have to treat solo fill as if you're just a solo player, regardless.
Right.
To save your back and save your loot, which kind of sucks because I've done so many solo fills, almost just as many as just pre-made teams, where I've done a lot of solo fill, and it's very interesting where sometimes I would load into a run as a free kit. The other two people got purple shields and a bunch of gear. Okay, then I put all my stuff on, and then I load in, and now I'm the only person with all my purples and golds, and the other two people are free kits. So it's like I understand why people don't want to load in with anything. It's funny because the only time I will load in with like a bunch of my gear is in ranked. At least in ranked, I know other people have blue, purples, and golds because you have to, because everyone you're going to match in ranked are probably also running that type of gear. So I kind of feel like that's what ranked is for players, is to take all that stuff in, but it's also like people aren't really playing ranked to that degree, so it's tough. But it all kind of trickles down to just player numbers aren't enough to separate these lanes for players. But I wish.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Talking about some player numbers here, that kind of drags us into this article by Rebecca Valentine, king of the crossovers here, from Kotaku. Marathon was one of March's best-selling games. In the article, Rebecca points to Marathon being like the number 4 in the rank of best-selling games for all of March. Now this is it's Nintendo doesn't really release their numbers all that much. So like it's
No.
possible that like Pokopia in number 5 on this list could actually be a little bit higher. But that's speculation. In the article, it says this is quite the achievement during such a stuffed month, and one that will hopefully calm distressed Marathon fans somewhat after some of them have crashed out a bit over player numbers. It's hard to blame them. Marathon exists at a strange crossroads for developer Bungie, and as a continuously updated multiplayer shooter releasing in the world that's been openly hostile to several of those lately. There's plenty to worry about if you like either Marathon or Bungie. While initial sales numbers were good, but not fantastic, an estimated 1.2 million copies sold in the first month, people genuinely seem to be enjoying it, and Bungie at least seems committed to making it sparkle for existing players and appeal to those who have shrugged it off. Yeah, like it's impressive that it came in so hot. Everything going into March, I was not anticipating Marathon hitting as hard as it did. For streamers, for gamers, for game critics, even. So it is like pretty cool to see that it got into the top 5. I wonder what those numbers are month over month, like as the game has a few more legs under itself. I want to see. My guess is that like in a game like this, I wonder what the like season over season pickup is, right? Like if somebody was on the fence about Marathon when it first came out, do you wait until the new season kicks up in order to pick it up again? Is that where that merry-go-round starts for some people? Or do people pick it up more so all along leading up to that, hoping to maybe get some experience in before the wipe happens?
Probably
I
when
would
it's on
imagine.
sale.
Yeah, maybe every new season has a sale.
Yeah,
Get some new people in. Get some hype in there.
I just don't see how that's sustainable.
I don't think it's sustainable either, but it's like
Yeah.
I'm really curious what their financial plan is going to be. Not talking about like shareholder type of stuff, just like if a player spends $40 for this game,
Or 32 right now on
or
Steam.
32,
because it is on sale.
Unlike Destiny, there isn't the requirement of purchasing a bunch of stuff every 3 to 6 months as of right now to play everything. You don't have to purchase their battle pass in order to play the new runner shells and the new maps. So I'm really curious what that is going to look like, because at least with Destiny, for all its faults, they know when new content comes out, people have to pay for it to play it.
Right.
Post playing whatever expansion stuff they had to. Marathon doesn't have that system. Once you pay that $30-$40, you can play whatever you want, basically. And you don't have to pay that extra $10 to buy the battle pass, because it's just cosmetics, it's just skins.
Right.
And the skins as of right now, they aren't super desirable. So it's not something that like someone has to have to look cool. That's just, oh, I mean, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Which is very similar to what I felt when I was playing Helldivers 2. I paid the $30-$40 and I basically could do everything. There's a season pass there, but like I don't really care for that. So the extra money that I would put into Helldivers, I don't have to, because I don't need it to play all of the game. Now, granted, from what I remember from Helldivers, they at least when they put out future content, you had to pay for it. Like I remember I had to pay the extra $15 for the Halo expansion because I really wanted to play as a Halo, play as a Warhawk. I wanted to do all that stuff, so it made sense. But Marathon's not doing that either from their current stance. You're not having to buy the game and then buy whatever crossover thing in the
like
future.
Like a Street Fighter featured like cosmetic or something like that, which actually would be fairly smart with the movie coming out. But
so I do wonder how they're going to make up that money, because from what I look at when I look at the season pass, like the battle pass stuff, none of that stuff is, I don't want to say good enough because it's just art, but like I don't see anything that the average player is going to be like, I gotta drop $10 on that. I need that, so
take my money.
Yeah, none of that. So I wonder how they're going to financially keep the game up long term, even 6 months. So
and I wonder what what's the continuous progression that's going to keep people in the game too, for those people, so that they can buy all those new skins. Because I think of like when Arc Raiders, like they have their what is it, the expedition, is that what they call it, the expedition. Yeah, so like they have something to chase for the end of every season that helps actually progress you to the next season. So you still get a reset, but you have some kind of progression. And I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Marathon doesn't have that. I think they're going to just do a full reset, like a hard reset.
They don't have the expedition, and they don't have two things. Like you're saying, they don't have the reason to do it all.
Yeah,
that our creators have, and they don't have the opt-in that our creators have. So at least for players and our creators, if they don't want to do the expedition, they don't have to. You have to opt in to do it. But if you do it, you get some extra benefits to your character.
Yeah.
So it's kind of two reasons to engage with that in-game system, and Marathon has neither. So you're right. It's going to be interesting. And we've talked about this on the podcast the last couple of episodes, even for ourselves. Like when June comes, like I do as of right now, I want to start the grind new. But there's a very big chance that myself, maybe Dan, maybe a lot of people that are still playing might not want to do that grind again.
Yeah.
And it's totally valid because as of right now, there's no like benefit for doing it for season 2 besides just having to do it. And it isn't like I have to option. If I want to keep playing next season, I have to do the entire thing over.
Yeah. I just don't see that there's for me personally as a player, I don't feel like there's a way for me to change my reason for playing it when a new season drops. Like I'm playing it right now just to kind of shoot the shit with buddies. Like it's more of a session game. If I get progression, cool, but it's mainly one of those where it's like I've got two buds, we're just going around and we're just shooting the shit while shooting shit. And so that is, while that is fine, while that is a way to play it, I don't think that that's the type of player that they want to I think that's the type of player that they do want in their roster to be like, hey, look, we have player numbers here, but I'm not who is catered to for this game. And that's fine. Like, I'm fine with me never getting into Cryo or getting past certain vaults. Like, I'm fine with that. Like, because right now I'm looking at it as like a session game. I'm really just going in for a different reason, probably everybody else, but I'm still having fun with it. And as soon as I stop having fun with it, that's when I drop it.
Yeah, and I can see someone who might start getting cold on the game like towards June, and whenever the reset comes, because there isn't really any kind of progression system there, they might just end up not doing the reset. The reset comes, like, well, I was already kind of cold on it anyways, I'm probably just going to drop it. Whereas if there was, and I don't know what the answer is without introducing power creep, but if there was some way to have some kind of progression to challenge people to want to reach the end game of every season to be able to do this, and then that something will carry over, then something like that would really help, I think, retain the people who are really digging this game.
Yeah.
Especially if you got to force them to do it. Like that's, I feel like that's the big one.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if
They gotta
you
do it.
had 6 months to do this grind, or even 9 months, you'd probably be like, you know what, I can just hop on above. Sooner or later, we'll get it done.
Yeah.
But
3
having
months.
that deadline, where like,
Yeah.
if you don't get it done in that 3 months, your progress is starting all the way over, and you have no choice to opt in. That's my, I don't want to say fear, but that's the one thing that I just know people are gonna be like, you know what, this isn't worth my time anymore. I already got my 100 hours. I really enjoyed my money's worth, but like,
Yeah.
I don't want to log in June whatever and see me back at 0, see all my capstones gone. You know, it's a lot.
I also think that you run into a little bit of a Destiny problem, right? If you do decide to go longer than 3 months, you then start being like, well, is there enough content in this 3 months to justify my time and me showing up for this game? And if that answer is no, then that answer is no. You know, there's a lot of people feeling that right now in Destiny. Believe me, I had to deal with them in my comments earlier today on Twitter. But like, it's yeah, man. It's tough to really justify too much longer than 3 months. And that is like, if they hit the expectation of that. Jagmaster in chat said like, will the wipe actually happen being so close to Destiny's June update, or will Destiny get re-delayed? I don't think Destiny gets re-delayed in that time.
Let's not put that in the out in the universe, please, people.
I don't think that happens. I think we find out in May what Sony calls a success.
When they get that call. So
yeah, May 8th is the call.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would I don't think we see that. And there's a reason why DMG has been saying, you know, closer to mid-May is when we're going to be able to announce what's coming in June, because I'm sure that they're looking at that call, and I'm sure that that's so many people have said, what is the make or break for Bungie? What is make or break for Destiny 2? What is the make or break for Marathon? That call would probably be it. If anything, that would determine what the public knows about the game, what the public knows about their security and everything going on in the future. So that would help.
I wouldn't be surprised if internally they already know.
Oh, I'm sure they know now, because they have to turn in the reports. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if they've been told this is A, B, or C probability. Like, the 3 outcomes of your game are these. Prepare whatever you got to. For this until this call, until this date, and then we'll tell you which direction to go. That's kind of where I've settled on. As far, I feel like Marathon is a lot more safe right now than Destiny, just because of it being their new thing,
right?
And probably less costly to upkeep.
Mm-hmm.
But I think regardless, like, we got to wait until the investor call, and they probably know what they have to do and what they can do.
Right.
They just can't do anything until they're told, okay, you need to go down this path.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that is like another thing to bring up is Paul Tassi, the one and only Paul Tassi, put out this article this week. More Bungie devs are working on Marathon than Destiny 2 now. Marathon continues to try to retain and attract players, with Bungie launching the game a month ago, and Sony is eyeing it to see if it can break PlayStation's recent live service curse. But Bungie's primary live service, Destiny 2, is fading quickly with the lack of updates, and it may not surprise you that Destiny 2 is not, in fact, Bungie's primary live service anymore, or at least it's close to a tie. My sources at Bungie confirmed to me that while previously Destiny had a fairly significant edge in devs working on the game, now, of the 800 or so remaining Bungie employees, it's now more evenly split, with Marathon now edging out Destiny 2 by a bit, though obviously the two games share some amount of logistics support within Bungie. Previous information on the original split was from a combination of comments from Joe Ziegler and reporting from Jason Schreier, who said that after layoffs and cancellations, about 300 of Bungie's 850 employees were working on Marathon, with 550, the clear majority, still working on Destiny 2. But at launch and now post-launch, these two sections of the company have drawn neck and neck, and getting Marathon some momentum is obviously the larger priority for Bungie at the moment. Like when I posted this in our chat together, I know Eseipha was like, this kind of stings a little bit, you know? And like, I think it does, you know, but at the same time, like, from what I understand of game dev, when you have two going concerns, you are going to pull people back and forth, like within the company. And it's not like a hard segment out. Unless like Sony decides that like, okay, we're going to split you into two different companies, and this company works on Marathon and this one works on Destiny 2. You know what I mean? I think that just comes from like an ebb and flow of releases. At least from what I've seen in this space over the last 10 years. However, there are echoes of this from like when so Chuck, you said you came in on Destiny 2 launch. Did you play any Destiny 1 previously?
No, I never really had consoles, so
okay,
gotcha. It was brand new to me.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, Epic Dan, you probably remember this when they split people off for Destiny 2. When they're like, we're the Seasons team. Or it wasn't Seasons. What did they call them back in?
It was after taking King. They put the majority of the studio, on working on a new game. Mm-hmm. We all knew it was Destiny 2, but they put most of the people on a new game, and then they had that one. They had a small group of people make one more small DLC, which was Rise of Iron.
Yeah.
And they put out that same team, or a mixture, but that same team also did the end of life cycle for Destiny 1, which ended up being Age of Triumph. And I think back then it was 1,100 or maybe 900. But I remember the number being around 1,000 Bungie devs then.
Yeah. I remember that, like, that distinctly was a moment of like, oh, okay, like something is happening, but like we weren't quite sure about it at that time. And of course they've gone through layoff after layoff over the past few years, like, so their numbers have dwindled a little bit. But my thought process is, if you're putting more people on Marathon, to me, we are probably entering into like an end of life cycle for Destiny 2. And like they're going to maintain or put out whatever they've produced in the time previous to that drawback of staff. Because we all know that game dev is like watching the stars. Like, you're watching the light from months and months, years back, right? Like, you're just seeing it hit you, but they've been working on things in the background. The hope for me is that when June comes around, they announce this, whatever this June thing is, with Pantheon and all the updated raids and everything like that. And then they say, and then we're going to make good, and we're going to release the last year of DLC content. The two that we had announced previously when we announced this whole Fate saga. And then after that, we're probably going to put it up on a shelf and enter into end of life with something like an Age of Triumph or something along those lines. That is my hope, with hopefully the light at the end of the tunnel being like a Destiny 3 somewhere down the road. Probably not anytime in the near future, probably a few years down the line, but enough time to reset expectations, and also their also maybe innovate on that. That's, to me, that is the best case scenario that I'm going in with. Worst case scenario, they say it's done after June, and then we have to like deal with the fallout of that.
That's been my concern for such a long time, because I've said multiple times, that. 'Cause I know we had a big discussion on it back in like December when I asked the question, and I was like, we don't have anything set in stone
Mm-hmm.
besides Shadow and Order, or Shadow and Order, what they did call it, and even I think everyone else was talking about the other two DLC that they announced, and I was like, well, until we get a price point, a launch date, I just don't know. I feel like that was the stuff that they could either remove or go back on or revert or change. And it's like all we had was the one March thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the only content that we know we're getting is the March update or the June, whatever that is, just Shadow and Order.
Yeah.
And it's like anything past that is up in the air to the point that like if the higher ups just wanted, or whoever at Sony just wanted to just cut it off right then, they could.
Yeah.
Because they could technically say, well, we said we're going to make more DLC, but we were not far enough into the development cycle that we have to put this content out. We can just wash our hands of it, or we can merge what we did do into the content that we were putting out, which is Shadow and Order, delay that a little bit to give us more time, and then just put that one piece of content out. And it's like, I feel like I'm on the same brainwave as you, Dan, because I've settled on that being the most logical outcome right now.
Yeah.
Until told otherwise. But I think it's also because I've been playing Destiny since launch, and I've seen a lot of similarities. But the only non-similarity in this situation is that we don't have future content that has already been announced that's going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Or we have not heard, unfortunately, from someone at Bungie, traditionally like the game director or someone who has come out and vocally said, we're fixing something in the future for new content, hold off. Which has been a big issue for me personally ever since Tyson Green has come out. He could, if he wanted to, ease everyone by just coming out with his own posts, just laying it all out there, good or bad. Everyone's attacking, unfortunately, DMG because he's the only person,
he's the mouthpiece
in Bungie Studios that is being vocal, which he's not a dev in the same sense that he has no control over what is and is not going to come out. He can only put out what is being told to him.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he can say something, and then the actual people that makes the game can change it all. And then he's like, well, things change. We did our best to relay the information that we had time. Didn't know this was going to happen.
And no Tyson Green for the next X pack, so like there's no agreement.
No one's paid for it already. We don't have a name. Technically, we have a name, but we don't have a launch site. We don't have anything around it. We don't know in Shadow Cycle. I saw someone ask, I think him or something. They were like, "Is Shadow Cycle going to come out in September?" And I was like, "Shadow Cycle to me is not an actual thing until I see a trailer. It's not real. We just have a name. Things change."
Yeah.
This could all be... People wouldn't be like attacking DMG to the same level if Tyson Green just came out and just laid it all out to the best of his ability. Like when this happened with Luke Smith, he came out in front of the gunfire and just talked. When
so did Joe.
When Joe Blackburn, same thing. That's why I was saying I've seen a lot of similarities in the last 10 years, 12 years, but the only difference is no one at Bungie that is in some like seat of like, I can do something about this. Has come out this time, which in this case is Tyson Green.
Yeah.
If Tyson Green would at least take some of the fire from DMG, good or bad, like it would help a lot because we're getting down to the wire at this point.
Yeah.
It's getting
Yeah.
pretty close.
You gotta
just-
imagine that the reason he's not or they're not saying anything right now, there's like
They
three
can't.
possible things, right? It's
They can't.
either they don't know what's gonna happen,
hmm
it's not good, so they don't want to tell you what's happening, or which this is my cope one is their strategy is that they want to build as much hype as possible, and they think that by being as quiet as possible and let it dip down, when they announce something big, it's going to be a huge like piece of hype
man.
going on.
That's my
cope one. That's my cope one.
I think
But
there's
the
a
other
fourth
two
option
seem more
there.
likely.
I think there's a fourth option there, and I think it's like they probably know. They can't say anything because it would change investor like status, or like it would tip
Yeah.
off something from the investor call that
Mhm.
that would make it go one way or another.
Yeah.
The moment it drops one way or the other, it's going to be big.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like anyone that knows Destiny by this point, if they come out and they drop a huge Avatar in-game level banger announcement, it's going to change everything. If they announce a Leprechauns 2, the Room level announcement, it's going to be a banger. It's just the reception's going to be the same because people will be like, finally, yay, or finally, no. It's regardless at this point, the hype around the announcement is like monumental. It's just what responses is going to be like. Finally, I can't wait to log in 30 hours a day, or okay, thank you for letting me know. I'm glad to finally know what the state of the game is going to be long term. There isn't one. Okay, I'll see you in June, and I'm mentally ready to like cycle this game out of my life. It's like just one way or the other. A lot of people just want to know. But
even a hint, just a hint. When DMG went on Twitter and posted, "Oh, I like the Crota armor set," that fed me for like a week and a half.
People are desperate. People are desperate.
I just
Crumb's my guy.
A little crumb.
Crumb's my guy. Madalat says insider trading is very much frowned upon if it's not the government doing it. Sasquatch in chat says such a long delay for a smaller major update, not an expansion. Just makes me think they push for a feature as ASAP. Part of me thinks that it's the removal of the portal. I mean, I would be surprised. I would be
if they removed
really
the portal in
surprised.
June, would that be enough? Like, let's
Probably
keep it
not.
up.
No,
Yeah,
like I don't think that's enough for most players to come back.
I mean, we kind of know they're not removing it in June. DMG already posted like looking for new modifiers for the stuff, right? They're gonna get rid of the portal though. I think they're gonna get rid of it by the next X pack if there is one.
Yeah. There's
I just don't know like what they can do. Like my I don't even think at this point Raph would do it. At this point.
Yeah.
Even if they was like, fine, here's Raph, here's Siva. It's too little too late.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Lochnar, who recently just joined my chat, the nth option, restore the DCV. They can't.
It's too late.
If they can't,
it's not enough.
If they can't bring that in for court purposes to prove that they didn't rip it off from somebody else, they're not bringing it out. It's just not. I don't think that's what's going to happen. At least with older campaigns and stuff. When it comes to other stuff that came in, maybe, but they've done such a huge job of chopping up all the content into just activities for the portal that I don't think that you see them side by side again in that same way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Bring back the old raid, says CG.
Not enough. That's not going to get the player numbers back up. Like, I would love it. It's just like, at this point, there's not a lot they can do. Like, bringing back stuff would be cool, but
yeah,
there's too many systems that they would have to fix. Like,
I was, so I was at my wife's friend had a birthday party for themselves. And somebody asked me what I do, and so I told them I was like I work at a library. And I also stream on the internet. And they're like, "Oh, is that how you know these guys?" I was like, "No, I know them through my wife. And like, here's my beautiful wife, Jen." And they go, "Okay, well, like, what do you stream on the internet?" And I was like, "Well, primarily I help people with Destiny 2, like help people in raids." And this person's husband goes like, "Wait, that's still a thing?" Like, he goes, "That was like grad school for me." What? I was like, "Oh yeah, it's still a thing, it's still a going concern." You know,
I always think of that Ludwig post, that Ludwig clip from the Forsaken era.
yeah.
Where he says, people still play Destiny 2? Don't they know that there's other games?
Yeah. It was fun. That was a fun conversation. But yeah. Other than that, we have stuff from the TWID this week. Very limited stuff from the TWID, but stuff all the same. They say the team is heads down working towards our June update. We're aiming for new information to be rolling out mid-May. What to expect for the new update. As we approach that time frame, we'll have a full calendar of sandbox tuning and quality of life changes to run through, among other things. Until then, let's get down to business with Fresh Community Challenge. The new challenge is, they said, since the launch of Edge of Fate, Guardians have earned some potent weapons through Vanguard orders, completing various Fireteam operations, or directly from Zavala by completing the various week's rewards track. Now it's time to show our commander we are putting these tools to good use and a community challenge commander's orders. The goal of the challenge is simple: defeat enemies across the Sol system with weapons that have been or will be part of Zavala's armory. We will be keeping track of how many you have defeated with a bit of help from our friends in the analytics team, so you only have to focus on the task. So that is Mint Retrograde, Unfall, a macro tool. You have the Hawthorne's Field Forged shotgun, the Psi Eterna 4, Horror's Least, and a Good Shout heavy combat bow. Using any of these weapons, take down enemies and PvE activities. Reach the communal goal of 15 million PvE enemies defeated, and you will get the Commander's Salute emblem. The challenge starts on the 23rd of April, so back on Tuesday, and you will have until May 12th at reset time to complete its goal. Emblems will be delivered directly to players no later than 30 days after the challenge is over. Is that enough to bring you back?
All I gotta do is log in and kill one enemy with the mint and then log off.
Yeah.
For the emblem.
So I just talked about this yesterday with my chat, and man, I'm sorry. I really like the community challenges they've been doing. The dungeon ones were really fun. This one is just a little.
This is the worst one in my opinion.
It is, yeah. There's nothing in game. Like if there was an in-game tracker, Helldivers does something similar to this, right? They have like community events, but they have in-game trackers, and you can see how long it takes to get to your goal, and you can see your own personal contribution to the goal.
Right.
Destiny doesn't have that. So it's like you're slaying out with all these weapons. First of all, these weapons are all like, it's just a bunch of mediocre weapons and rocket pulses. So it's everyone's just gonna be using rocket pulses.
It's a bunch of mediocre weapons and Mint Retrograde.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And Aeterna, those two rocket pulses. So
the two rocket pulses. But like, if they had like an in-game tracker or something, there's the only way I guess you can see it is some community tracker, which I didn't even know about. I was complaining about this, and someone posted that there's a community tracker. So this whole time I had no idea this existed. We're already almost halfway there, well, over halfway there, excuse me. So what are we gonna do for the next week? Like, I want some more different. I've been asking for a community challenge for Salvation's Edge where we only use rocket launchers, because I want the final boss for us to be huddled in that little final boss area where everyone's blowing each other up with rocket launchers.
Yeah.
I asked DMG, I sent him a tweet, and he did not respond. So he left me on red.
Yeah.
They would never do a community challenge for something that requires people, though.
Yeah.
They should.
For like a raid. Yeah.
Nah, because the only time they did the dungeon, but the dungeon required you to be solo.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So it's like,
well, they had the other one, right? The speed one, the 20 minutes for Equilibrium. That was like
Yeah.
the closest we got to something that's more,
Yeah.
I mean, team based.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love more of those. I would love more of
Yeah.
those. But yeah, this
Raid
community
one.
challenge did not hit me. This, unfortunately.
I'm all for
Um,
variety, but I also feel like the time frame of it is also fairly forgiving. That's 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just. It's pretty obvious that these community challenges, while they are something,
Yeah.
they are just creating. They're trying to figure out something just to give people a reason to play the game up until June. That's the only reason it's going to be so long.
Yeah.
Trying to give, because otherwise May would be absolutely dead as far as like something to do.
Right.
So it's like, why not just put that? So I wouldn't be surprised if the end of May has something else, maybe another community challenge or something.
Hope so.
Well, that ideally the end of May is whatever's leading into
The announcements
June 9th.
as well. Yeah.
Some hype.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the implications if we did not reach our goal? 15 million kills. Like
I was gonna say,
8
I
million.
wonder, like, obviously there's people that's playing that's like pushing that along. Which thank you, by the way, for doing so much of the hard work. I'll log on and get my 1 mint kill today, but like,
I did it in a raid earlier today. I did my time.
There you go.
Actually, I did mine. I did mine yesterday, and I did the Salvations Edge yesterday with XRB for his challenge, and I did a bunch of mint. So I guess technically, I got mine done already.
Yeah,
it's cool.
There you go.
But I wonder, like you said, if the 15 million wasn't reached,
right?
Would they extend it?
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was covering Borderlands, they had a bunch of community challenges like this. But in that community, the community challenge numbers for killing a certain enemy variant in that game was really high. It was like 100 million for like certain enemy variants. And there was a few times that they almost didn't reach it in the time, but they just extended the window with some like in lore universe thing, like, oh, Mr. Chor decided to give you more time, something like that. So I wonder if they would have done that here as well.
Yeah. Maybe. Lochnar, I am Lochnar. Well, for the podcasters, what would be a challenge y'all would want to do? I've got mine. Just seeing that question, I was like,
yours.
I've got it. The challenge that I would want to see is that it would be called Marathon, and you would get a title called Runner at the end of it, in which within we'll be forgiving. Within a 48-hour period, you have to complete all of the raids in order of in chronological order to when they released, from start to finish within 48 hours. And then if your activities line up that you did that within the 48 hours, you get that title. You get like some sort of special thing.
I love it.
And then that would be it. That would be.
Make it 24 hours, and then I'd be interested.
24 hours, yeah.
Make it 24.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I want it to be a little bit harder. I agree. I want it to be like a little less time frame, but I also know that we kind of need people who can't do it all.
90% of those raids can be done in 30 minutes.
Yes.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
That said, there are still people who would be like, I work a 40-hour job and not able to do that on a weekend. Like,
take one day off if you really care.
Well, be very careful with saying that. I said that on the internet one time, and the stuff I got back from that. No, it would I think 48 hours is fine. Like that gives you a lot. That gives people a lot of time to get those done, to knock those out, to find people to do it. Like I have not done an LFG raid in like so long, my guy. Like, how is the LFG experience in Destiny 2 right now?
Right now it's not great. Right now it's a lot of full clear farmers, which is, that's fine, that's
Yeah.
great. But
Oh,
I'm,
brother.
yeah, we're going in LFG looking for like fun experiences. We're trying to find. We have been fortunate in being able to find people trying to go for their first clears on things like master challenges. We found one guy who was going for a master challenge and he was stuck in a party where nobody else was talking and people were not able to do the comms. So we were able to actually get our guys in there and help them out. Things like that. We're looking for things or just parties that are struggling to get through something. We're able to hop in and help them kind of coordinate everything. And people are just having a good time. Sometimes people are just doing fun runs and doing silly stuff, and it's just really good. But then lately, it's like I said, right now, it's mostly like a lot of full clear farmers, a lot of people that are farming weapons, which I get. That's always going to be there. But it's just that's mostly what it is right now. It's not people trying to achieve challenges in the game right now. Yeah, that's the fun stuff. People that are communicating and having a good time. A lot of closed mics too. People don't want to talk a lot, which I understand it, but we want some variety.
I guess if you want to be at the top of the leaderboards, this is a perfect time to do it right now.
Just pad those stats, baby.
Just pad those stats.
Probably true, but I've seen those full clear leaderboards.
Man, that's going to look real good on your Hinge account.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. Right now, a couple things that I do want to highlight here. They say what to play in Destiny 2 this weekend. So ongoing to April 28th, the Crucible Portal playlist with Showdown 3v3. We have the Crucible Legacy playlist, 3v3 quick play elimination, and 6v6 quick play mayhem. Grandmaster Vanguard alert for Arms Dealer with the duty bound auto rifle attached to that. From April 24th to April 28th, Trials of Osiris. The map is Meltdown, and the weapon is the Corundum Hammer. Last thing I'll note here is that the Humble Bundle is still active until the 29th of April, and that is the Humble Bundle that has all of the DLC, everything containing Destiny 2. It's only for Steam, but it is $28, and you get a 25% off coupon for Marathon with that. So that's a pretty solid deal all in all. I guess PlayStation and Xbox also have the Legacy editions, the Legacy edition for Destiny content up for like $7 or $8 right now. So if you are looking to get stuff done or you're looking to fill gaps with content, a lot of stuff in Destiny 2 is on sale right now for you to pick up. Let's see here. I'm grabbing a couple of questions here to ask to you guys.
That's a great deal, y'all. Go out there and get your Destiny fix.
It ain't bad. It doesn't include the dungeon keys, Dan? Okay. All right. So that doesn't include the dungeon keys. My apologies. My apologies.
That is true.
I'll flagellate myself later for having wrong information. Anyways. Carolina Gamer asks, what raid or dungeons are you guys looking forward to farming for the new set bonuses? And if you could design your own set bonus, what would it be? Chuck, let's hear. What do you got for us? What's your pitch?
Man, I'm excited to farm every single raid, honestly, except for Vault of Glass. Not my favorite. Kind of boring. Kind of sit there most of the time. But all the other ones, I love all the raids. I'm super excited to get back into all of them. I hope they have difficulty modifiers for all of them so I can play Deepstone Crypt at the highest difficulty. I'm super excited for that. Set bonuses. I mean, I thought of one that we talked about yesterday on stream, actually, where it would be great if we had some set bonuses that could just add shoot to loot to certain weapons.
Okay.
Like all baseline, like all ARs, all SMGs, whatever it is for that set bonus, that weapon gets shoot to loot. That would be awesome. I'm so hoping for something like that.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I really need them to make some really interesting set bonuses. That's really all I care about. Like the armor. Well, they need to do a really good job with making unique set bonuses 2 and 4.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people that try to theorize what the set bonus could be. but it needs to be something that either benefits the weapons, benefits the abilities, or benefits certain play styles of players, or even benefits how people engage with their kits. That's all I care about. Like I know a lot of people are like thinking what the Vault of Glass, what the Crota one, what the Last Wish one does. And as long as it's something for a certain play style, whether you are solo or in a team, I think that's all that's all it'll take from me personally to go after them. I'm not honestly really crazy about the feat system.
Yeah.
So I personally don't want them to add feats to these raids.
Okay.
Personally, I'd rather them just create a system kind of more traditional to old hard mode raids, or even just Pantheon raids, or even just master raids instead.
Yeah.
But that's because I just don't like feats. I just think
100% agree. I 100% agree with that. It'd be great if they had like a normal, like a hard one, which is like, Banes and all this stuff in the feats right now. And then like the contest one, the cutthroat one. I would love those. Just 3 difficulties. Don't complicate it for people.
As Briggs says, I also believe in no kink shaming. So I don't personally, when it comes to feet, I have no opinion. If you're into them, you're into them. If you're not, you're not. And I understand that. And I get it.
Yep.
Okay, man.
Yep. Understood.
But to me, I feel like set bonuses would have to do one of 2 things. They have to be perpetual. So not just for the raid that you're doing, they have to work within the game overall. They also have to be thematic. Yeah. They would have to be thematic with the raid that you're getting it from. Like Subsisted Sasquatch in here has a pretty good has a pretty solid one right here. Crota for Curse Brawl is the title. They've thought this one through. Curse Brawl is the title. That's the 2-piece. And that's weapon multi-kills called charged melee kills to create Curse Thrall explosions. That would be cool.
I think people want the Crota one so much. Every time I see people talk about the set bonuses, they always mention Crota.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, DMG already gave us the hint. That one's the one to chase.
Yeah.
A fun one.
That one at least sounds fun.
It's going to be hard to make a set bonus that's better than Ferropotent and Smoke Jumper, though. Yeah. And damage resist is so good. They're going to have to figure something out to make people want to get off those sets.
Right.
That's another thing. I can't think of a single bonus at all that I would take over Arrow Smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only way they do is make it to where the DR is higher for some reason, or it increases my weapon damage or super damage. Otherwise, I'm just going to stick to my 2-2.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
A. Briggs asks, with the raid loot refresh, do we have an idea on what's going to happen to red borders? I believe they have answered that you're still going to be able to earn them. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are farming red borders right now so that they can just create tiered versions of them.
Yep.
Later on down the line, if memory serves me well.
Yeah, I think they haven't given details about it yet, but apparently there is something involved with crafting, and adept weapons are also somehow involved in that. So they gave a very vague answer about people whether or not they need to refarm the weapons in the raids, and
they said
you say yes or no.
They said you won't need to, or they specifically said if you've already gotten a god roll of one of the adepts, you will be able to farm the new version, but also not have to earn new things for it. So it leads me to believe that we're gonna not farm for the weapons. We're gonna farm for a currency that we use on that weapon. That's from what that's what it seems like. Yeah, to respect those of us that already farmed it, we'll have to take a currency and put it on that adept rocket, and it'll turn it into the new version.
That does make sense, because they did say you were going to be able to upgrade your tiers in this X Pack too, or this update too.
Yeah. Eagle JJS asks at Destiny Digest, do you think Destiny 2 will help will end up helping or changing for the cerebral palsy jump? So Eagle raided with us earlier today, and they had a hard time with jumps. So we actually had they have cerebral palsy, and so we actually had them bail out on the in-betweens for Desert Perpetual, but they did take part in the encounters when we raided. And it was a hard time for them to move in that vertical fashion. I don't know what they would do. I'm sure there's accessibility tools out there that they could like hammer out or mimic from other games to make sure that jumping was a little bit easier. I just don't know what that looks like.
I don't know. They definitely could because they've done it in the past.
Yeah. I would like to see what like other games have done for that particular kind of accessibility challenge. Like what other games have done for jumping, like if they've made it like a much easier like button press situation or what have you. Maybe a sensitivity for jumps.
I know other games have done it, but all the ones that I've seen that have done them, like I know the last Doom had a lot of accessibility things.
Yeah.
What's that game? I don't know. A couple games last year they did it that I played that I didn't engage with them, but like I was, oh, this is kind of cool. But those were all single player games.
Yeah.
And I think that might be. I don't want to say it's easier to do it in a single player game. So I'm really curious how they would end up having to do it for a multiplayer game. I can't think of the only multiplayer game I've played that has had a lot of accessibility stuff was sports games. And I know that's not obviously a shooter.
Yeah. Those also have a much wider audience. So it would make sense that they would have those built in.
I hope they could figure something out. Everyone should be able to play Destiny.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe if we get a dev on here, maybe we ask them that question. That'd be really cool. Last question of the night. I am Lochnar. Alrighty. What is a weapon title FOMO item that has been the one that got away? They have two. Midnight Coup Shiny from Into the Light and the Scallywag title. What is your Moby Dick?
Man, have
you achieved everything you've ever wanted, Chuck?
I want all the old raid titles. I don't have any of those. I started playing Lightfall, man. Bring those old raids back. Give me like I see people doing the little emote with the crow, yeah, that one. I see people doing that emote, and I'm like, it just makes me sad. I can't get it. So
yeah,
that's probably the thing for me.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm turning on Destiny 2 right now to see. Like, I'm sure that there's something that like I have deleted so many weapons from my vault for various charity efforts. Like, just gone clean plate club like several years in a row. Thank you, chat. That I'm sure there is something that I love that is gone forever. But I can't remember what it is off the top of my head right now. Like I'm trying to think and drawing blanks.
I have to be that direct polar opposite to you all because like if I had to really, really, really try, there's only one thing I never got. That was season 2. Destiny 2, season 3. The only thing I never got was Redrick's broadsword. Mm-hmm. That's it. So if I've gotten every title, I've gotten every weapon, I've gotten all the stuff, I've never not played. But the one thing I never got while actively playing was Redrick's broadsword and its ornament from season 2 and 3. Which required you to get 5,500 and 3,500 in ranked comp back when it was really, really tough. And I think the best I got was like whatever the rank was before you earned Redrick's Broadsword during the Warmind days. So if I had to pick, I hate to be that person. It's like I've gotten everything, but like that's the only thing I'm like, man, I wish I could have got that. It doesn't matter now. But back in 2017, when like PvP was like still really difficult and that weapon was an absolute monster back in the old 2-second TTK days because of Desperado. That's the only weapon that I wish I had. It wouldn't matter now, but at least I can say I earned it.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick it,
I had to look it up.
yeah, no one unless you were playing, then no one knows about
Yeah.
Redrick's. But there was a lot of times where like because of the way PvP worked back then, you would basically be matching you'd be in orbit for like 10-15 minutes, and people would just be playing another game. I would be playing another game on stream, waiting for my next match because of how like long it took to match.
Wow.
I never earned.
It was too.
I never earned the Shadow title.
Really?
I never earned the Shadow title. That's one that I'm looking at right now. That I'm like, man,
How close did you get to Shadow then?
Oh, it's not even close, dude. I'm looking here. I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm missing 8 of these.
I wish I knew you then.
Yeah.
I helped like 100 people like right before those raids went away.
Yeah.
I helped so many people get Blacksmith and Shadow.
Yeah, I got Blacksmith easy. Like that was one that I really, really cared about, and so I didn't.
Those are tough because that's back when you had to flawless them.
Yeah.
So like I remember for Blacksmith, the thing I had to help the most obviously was flawless. Had that down to like a 30-minute run for people. But Shadow was the one that took me longer because I had to take them through flawless, crown, but also you had to do the flawless menageries.
Yeah.
But granted, it was still stupid easy by the time it was going away, but people wanted Shadow still.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I never
even was
that.
Logging into other people's account back. That's the only time I ever
Should we
did
be saying this right now? Should we be saying this right now?
It doesn't matter now. It's 2019, 2020. I literally was logging into people's accounts. Limitations. Yeah, because like sometimes they were like, can you get it for me? And I was like, you know what? Sure, give me information. And I'll log into their account and I would do flawless like Shadow stuff for them.
Not for money. Not for money.
I mean,
he just did it.
For the love of the game. For the love of the game.
The only other thing that right now that I'm a huge sucker for shaders, right? And so I believe there's
to earn or buy.
To earn.
Or shaders in general. Okay.
The earn, well, like I also like some of them that show up in the shop and everything like that. That's whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's they do like when it comes to raids, I love the flawless shaders. I love just getting those because those are a manifestation of something that you've done in the game that you can be like, oh man, what's that shader? Like, where can I get it? It's like, well, you gotta flawless that raid, or like, yeah, and like, there's one I'm missing one from Garden of Salvation, and I just it's mainly because I haven't had time to do it, like really get a team together to do these things. But
let's go right now, easy 30 minutes.
I haven't done all the challenges in Garden of Salvation, and so that's
those at the same time.
Those are fun.
Yeah, that's the one
flawless with all the challenges.
Well, I've done the flawless on that one. We knocked that one out of the park. But like the shader for the challenge.
You did you didn't do the challenge ones.
We didn't do the challenge ones. So that's the thing that I'm missing. That like if that's anything that I'm going to be chasing, that's over the next month with my raid squad when we're like getting back accustomed to being like, oh yeah, we need to help with all of these again. So, and it's not just Desert Perpetual.
You let me know.
All right, sounds good, Chuck. Sounds good.
Super down. But
yeah, those are like my white whale things. Yeah, the Shadow title and then that stupid shader. But yeah, man, I don't know. I wonder how it feels to be Scarrow. That guy's got all the titles. He's got.
Does he? He has everything?
I think so, yeah. I believe
Yeah,
like
the
that was
Max
his main claim to
Triumph.
fame. Yeah, Max Triumph,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, does he?
I was
Wow.
with them
Okay.
for like I was all about the titles
Yeah,
until like 2023,
yeah.
and then I was playing another game. So I want to say it was Elden Ring. It might have been Elden Ring. No, yeah, I think it was Elden Ring. And I was like, I had to choose between playing Elden Ring when it first came out or
Yeah.
doing Moments of Triumph.
I think you made the right call.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play Elden Ring. It might be
Yeah.
that something like some game had came out, and I was like, I got to either decide on doing this Moments of Triumph title or play the new game. And then ever since then, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna only do my raid seals. That's it. Raid
Yeah.
seals, and I'm good.
Yeah, I gave up chasing titles
that
after the
broke
Edge
it
of
for
Fate
me.
one.
That broke it for me.
The Edge of Fate title is really too
So now
much
I'm
for
one
me,
of those
man.
elitists that just rock the old seals all the time. I'll just keep rocking Reckoner and Blacksmith and
Blacksmith, dude. Did we already have the conversation not that long ago about like if Pantheon will get a new title? If it'll still be Godslayer or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I asked whether or not would people prefer for a Godslayer to get gilded or for it to just be a new seal entirely.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, Chuck?
Because one of them will happen.
Well, I mean, DMG did say that there is a new title.
Okay.
So I can confirm right here.
Bam. Gilding
He
is
said-
they could argue semantics and say that is a new title. Godslayer times one or whatever.
Godslayer 2
There is an
Electric
X
Blue.
and a 2 at the end.
You know, technically they could. I think you're right that it's probably brand new, but
Yeah.
until I see it, it's like
That's true. It could
It's just
anything could
Godslayer.
change.
The new title is McFly. Because you go back to the past and kill all these old
back to the Godslayer.
Yeah, back to the Godslayer.
What can top Godslayer? Like
McFly. Clearly.
McFly. Okay. Yeah.
Clearly McFly.
I don't know what else you call it because, like, we've already killed a bunch of gods. Well, but it had to be something around Witness because that's the only thing I think of that's probably like new. Because, like, if they bring the old raids back, none of those raid bosses that we fought in year one are high value enemies.
Yeah.
None of them are. Like, even Valka or even Gowrin, none of those are like on the same level as even Riven or Witness or none of those. Like, so we were God Slayers for taking actual gods out and the Witness out.
I know it. I got it. I got it right here. Goon Crusher.
Land is plain.
You can take me to the home anytime you want. All right, fine. Chat saying jail, saying you're fired. It's been nice knowing you, chat. All right. Well, then, with that, Chuck, thank you so much for coming and hanging out for this episode of Destiny Digest. I hope it was enlightening. I hope you had fun.
This was great. It was great. I loved it. Thank you so much for having me.
Perfect. Absolutely. It was great to have you. Where can the people find you at home? What's your address specifically?
Yeah, twitch.tv/TeamChuckles. That's everything. Everything is there. That's the only spot, really. I mean, there's other things out there, but I don't. That's the main focus. And yeah, we do a lot of raids over there. I try to get chat in there whenever there's people that want to do some raiding stuff, and then we'll do some LFGs. We'll do some community helps. I do a lot of community helps. We're actually doing set community help days with some of our homies.
Perfect.
May 9th, I think. So if you want to stop by then, we'll get you some of your seals. Maybe we'll get you some of your raid seals. And yeah, otherwise we're practicing for the June. Some of our friends are doing a June 20th raid race, Epic Desert Perpetual. So we're going to do a raid race. It's supposed to be a celebration for Juneteenth. And
Perfect.
yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. The new sandbox, so we're all our practices for naught right now. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. That's in a nutshell. There you go.
I've been told that you're going to be helping out with Featherlight, and that that's your favorite thing
God.
to ever do.
Featherlight's so
in.
good, man. Love it.
We actually just did a Featherlight help yesterday. We got Miss Covey, who does a lot of stuff for the community and for us, and she organizes like every raid help that we've ever done. She had not had Featherlight yet, so we did it. Took like 2.5 hours, which is actually shorter than most of the Featherlights I've ever done, and that might be the last Featherlight I ever do.
You don't do your Featherlights with the armor set? I wonder how it is to do it without the armor set.
Yeah, we did not use the armor set, and it took 2.5 hours.
Yeesh.
What if that's part of the...
I keep Crota sets just for that Featherlight.
Oh, man. Anyways, well, it was great having you, Chuck. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Epic Dan, where can people find you online, sir?
You can find me at twitch.tv/EpicDan22. You can find me at YouTube at EpicDan22, on Instagram at EpicDan22, TikTok at EpicDan22. If you Google EpicDan22, you can find
Just
me
about everywhere.
almost everywhere.
All right, perfect. My name's Danfinity. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Danfinity. You can find me everywhere else, DanfinityGG. I even have a website, danfinity.gg, which I'll be adding an article about Kiln later on this week, because I fucking love that game. I don't know what it is about it. It's just so good. It's just so good. Anyways, that's where you can find us. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight for episode 135 of the Destiny Digest podcast. Thanks for listening, and we hope you find what you're grinding for.